Hi, good morning, good afternoon, Matthew in London. I am Gino Zandonai, the President and CEO of Atacama Copper Corporation, a resource company focused on acquisition, exploration, and development of copper properties in Chile. The company is committed to advancing the exploration and development of the Placeton and Cofre projects, while also we are currently looking to increase our asset portfolio through the acquisition and development of the high-value copper exploration opportunities in Chile. We are located in the third region of Atacama and in the middle of the next biggest mining investment in Chile, the project NuevaUnión.
Lovely to have you on the show, Gino. Thanks very much for coming on board. I know a couple of your members of your board, but we've not met or spoken before, so I'm looking forward to this one. Relatively new story, well, very new story, and you've chosen to kind of insert yourself into the copper thematic of the moment, which is great news. But why don't we start off and try and help people understand what's your background that's relevant in terms of what's relevant to what you're trying to do here.
Excellent, thank you, Matthew. I am an original mining engineer, and I have been focused half of my life in production and in exploration the last 15 years. In around the world, and this is the strength of our background as just a decision as an exploration mining engineer. I think that makes a big difference understanding and working with the exploration geologists, which is a different mindset in the mining world.
Right, and what about the rest? Tell me about the team, because you're now heading up a public company, right? So that's not as easy as it sounds. So what I'm trying to understand is, what's the team that you put together that's going to help you run a public company, looking for copper in Chile? Perfect.
Well, Martin Battenshaw is the current chairman and CEO of the company. Martin brings a wealth of value in the project finance of mining projects as well as in exploration. And in addition to Martin, the exploration manager of the company, Walter Mühlenbach, is a very well-known seasoned senior economic geologist who has been exploring porphyry coppers and in the Andes. So this is something that is a combination of multi-skills and experience, and as well as the knowledge of the type of deposit we are looking for here. Is copper mineralization in between this unexplored area of the northern Chile.
Okay, and the other person I know is Scott Hicks, obviously Lumina. So maybe talk about Scott in the context of how you've picked this asset up.
Perfect. Well, as you know, Scott is part of the board of the company, and Scott brings all the value, as CEO and chairman of in the companies of Lumina, the Lumina group, and he also brings the guidance, how to conduct the business, the project finance and the exploration and the acquisitions in the future. This has been a great support and guidance, from Scott and the Lumina group. And I think it's a big opportunity for us to move forward this project.
Okay, but why are they doing the deal with you? What are you bringing to the table that they need?
Okay, myself and my technical team here, what I'm bringing to the company is the very well-known knowledge of the country, its politics, the tax structure, the business opportunities, the know-how, of the small area where you can deal directly with the people. And I think I have been receiving from the communities, they are eager to work and to share the knowledge with us, because we are a Chilean-based company. Even it's a Chilean-Canadian, obviously, listed company, but the management is Chilean, and I think this is a big strength for us.
Okay, so what exactly what does that deal look like? Okay, I know you picked up an asset and it's sitting between Teck and Newmont's projects. So I guess you're going to talk to me about nearology, closeology, etc. But what precisely did the deal look like? How much did you pay? What's the structure of or terms of the deal?
Right. Okay. The Placeton and Caballo Muerto project was originally explored 20 years ago by Metallica Resources, the original actually exploration company who explored and found El Morro project. What happened that this asset was actually was the third on the top list of Metallica, and at the time, in 1995-96, when the BRIEX case came out, obviously Metallica was focused on the project. The main flagship was, El Morro. So this project was a sort of leftover of the company. And what we did, we got this project from the public domain. So we incorporated the company, all the tenements, the exploitation tenements, and we carry out most of the exploration, the initial geophysics, geochemistry, and to define the targets. In addition to public information, we set up, a data room, a database of very strong information, and this is what drew the attention of the Lumina group, which was originally the founders and the founders of the Relincho project, who was sold, successfully to Teck late in the 90s. And this is how we got, to Placeton. I believe we are in a corridor, more or less between El Morro and Relincho, where we have found several opportunities of an outcrops where we can see that we are in the middle of two different deposits of different ages. So this is what the geologists are looking for now, and I'm trying to understand how we got there, the deposit that we think we can find there, the copper mineralization.
Okay, because you announced obviously raising just over $4 million recently, and I'm trying to work out why was it $4 million? What's the plan of attack here? How much information did you get from Lumina on the deal that means that you're not starting with a blank sheet of paper? You say, right, we understand the process that we want to follow. We know how we're going to allocate this money of ours. I mean, what does that look like?
It's a very good question, actually. Our main intention was, first of all, to have the right partner to develop this project. And I think with Lumina, we reached a point that, we raised the money to put 100% of the money into the ground. Nothing went to the vendors. And I think that was basically, we told them, listen, why don't we share the risk? We put the property here. You have, you raise the money with the Lumina and the other, shareholders. And I have the team. So we agree on that strategy. And in addition to, obviously, to our technical strategy that, with the current team that we have. So that was a very straightforward and very, probably in less than 2 weeks, we closed the deal with the.
So who's what? So who owned the property before?
The property was always owned by Aconcagua Minerals, which is a company that I own myself. I was the original owner of the company, Aconcagua Minerals.
And then you said, Cofre. Right, and then you said to Lumina, right, what's their role? What are they being asked to do?
The role, basically, the group, they raise the money, and we put the company, the knowledge, all the technical team here. So in the end, we put money, people together, and ideas, and this is how we listed the company. We agree, obviously, to IPO the company, and that was actually successfully done.
Okay, now who owns what? Your former company owns how much, and Lumina owns how much?
We own the company. Still, the project vendors, we own 60% of the company, and the rest between the Lumina Group, Medalist, and Delbrook Capital, and so these are shared 60-40 for the time being.
Okay, so who was the other company who's a shareholder?
We have Lumina Group,
Yeah,
and the Medalist Group, and Delbrook.
Right.
Delbrook.
Who are they? Who are they?
These are Canadian based, and basically the same people from the Lumina Group, just they have a different name. So Delbrook, but it's the same club basically.
Okay, so you've put the asset in, they've raised the money, you co-own, not necessarily equitably, the shareholding. So $4 million. What do you do with $4 million? How far does that get you?
Well, what we are doing, we are first of all, we will go with this strategy that we present to the board, which is complete, confirm all the geochemistry, the geophysics, the structural mapping, the geological mapping, and drill the two main targets that we have in this case in Placeton and Caballo Muerto. So we have all that money is going to be invested to drill 2,400 meters of diamond drilling, next quarter.
Right, and how much information had your previous company? How much money had it spent on the asset? How much information did you bring into the new venture?
Well, it's a good question. Before that, probably we spent close to $1 million in the company. Geochemistry, geophysics, obviously paying all the taxes on the mineral tenements. That was incorporating. It's a very complicated system how the tenements are incorporated in Chile. So you go from exploration 2 years, then exploitation 2 years, or 4 years that you need to sustain that. And that was a risky money. And obviously my wife was always unhappy about that. But I told you, some miners, somebody has to lose money then to make money in the future. So we were very lucky that, that we had a very good technical team behind. I think this is the key issue, is to have the right people behind you and the right attitude.
Okay. So you're going to start the exploration program. You've done enough work to say we've got some targets. Is that right? Have you?
That's correct. We have actually 4 targets in the 2 projects.
Okay, fine. And you get 2,400 meters, and that's, I don't know what, I mean, Atacama, I think of the desert. It may not, it kind of looks quite arid behind you. So can you drill all year round?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I think we are at the altitude of 3,900 meters, and we can work all year round. We have probably 2-3 months that could be, we have some wind and some, some snow, some years, it depends the years, but we've been, so far we've been working all year long. The Placeton especially, Caballo Muerto is a bit higher next to El Morro. So there we have an area that probably at 4,000 meters over the sea level that probably we have in June, July, we might have snow, but still the roads are very, very well maintained. Okay.
See, I know you've been sitting between Teck and Newmont. So obviously there's operators in country already, but where you are, just tell us a little bit, because we've been following this sort of the trials and tribulations of Chile over the last year with the election, to do with the elections, etc. But it's also thrown out some sort of interesting conversations with regards to, federal government and their involvement, the mining law and code for you guys, and also operating, at altitude. So what are some of the issues that you think you need to be able to overcome, or at least understand to be able to overcome?
I think today the main issue that has been making noise all over the news is the royalties, obviously. And the royalties, I think, probably something that will come in Chile, will be implemented in a less drastic way than what the politicians, especially the lower chamber, one of the politicians of the lower chamber did. I believe probably the fall wasn't the right way, but this is something that we will have to live with that, with the mining. But I believe the country has to, the state, the government has to really express themselves that how they want to implement it. As you know, probably in the past, Ricardo Lagos, a socialist president, former president of Chile, did it, and he went through. That's it. I mean, this is very important. I believe, you know, this is new time. So this is for us, it's not going to affect us yet, because we are not on the producing level yet. We are on the exploration more business model for the time being.
Yeah, so that's worth pointing out. These proposed taxes are on producers. Yeah,
exactly. Which, by the way, was going to be, you know, general question about, you know, okay, our findings in El Placeton. What do we do next? Obviously, we want to complete the business plan, going to the PFS or the BFS, and probably then, you know, invite one of the major companies that we are current partners of Lumina Group, and then, you know, decide what to do. This is basically the plan. Huh?
Okay, so early days, you probably then, what would you would say, use their balance sheet, but, you know, given their 40% shareholder, or would you just try and get free carry by letting them farm into more and earn more of this project? I mean, what's your ambition in all of this?
I mean, my wish list, I want to be the next top medium-sized mining company in Chile, you know, and to have probably between $300 or $400 million market cap in 5 years through the acquisition. Within this project, for us, is a catalyst to go into that road, to be an exploration and a production company. With respect to Placeton, I think probably those negotiations are completely open. You know, we have very good relationship with the main major companies. So we've been already. They started talking to me, you know, a few years ago. So the relationship is very open, and some of them, they're really looking forward what we are doing, because I believe there's an appetite for the area for many major companies.
Yeah. Okay. And right, I'm just trying to, okay, so when is this drilling finished then? When do you start putting out numbers so people actually understand what it is that they're looking at? Because the moment we can look to your neighbors, but you need to put out your own information. So what's the timing?
The timing, we believe that we're going to have, I mean, hopefully good numbers, you know, at the end of the next quarter. We plan to start the drilling in anything between mid-February or the beginning of March. So we're going to have probably June. In June, we will have, you know, a preliminary probably resource model. So we have information about the drilling information, the results of the assays. This is more or less, you know, the numbers that we're going to be releasing. You know, hopefully we're trying to move forward the drilling, but we have a plan. You know, I don't want to push the exploration team and to start drilling right away based on the geophysics, you know, of what we did, you know, where we see the green rocks, by the way. No, I think there is a plan. There's a scientific plan, and that is a methodology that we follow, and we have discussed with the partners, you know, with Leo Hathaway, with Marshall Cowell and the Lumina group. So this is how we do it, and it's
okay. So you're looking really okay. So looking to put out some kind of resource number out by June next year. Is that what you just said?
Before we're going to release the numbers, obviously, and I think probably in April, probably a full resource model we're going to have in June. But obviously, we will raise more money. I mean, we will use all these numbers to raise the money. As simple as that. You know, this is the next step
Right. That's what I want to be clear with you about, because 4 million is not going to be able to do too much. It gets you going, but you're going to need to spend more money in the ground. Need to drill more meters for sure.
Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, I think, look, let's treat this as a, hey, be aware that Atacama Copper is here. Copper is a big momentum play for next year, I suspect, and that you are the newest entrant into that market. So, look, I appreciate you kind of going through what the plan is, how long things are going to take, and sort of introducing us to the team, which is the important bit. It's a good team. Lumina Group is a pretty good partner to have in Chile, which is a good jurisdiction to be working in. So, look, I appreciate your time today, Gino. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. I think it's been a pleasure. For us, is absolutely, we are flabbergasted with partners with the group that we have. We have a small group of very top-notch senior geologists that they know the area extremely well, and as well as the accounting group behind us, all experience in the mining exploration business, which is very important. Low cost, austerity for the time being, and let's have a dessert when we have the money to pay, for the desserts in a restaurant. No, I think this is very important, austerity and hard work. And it's very important for us to share the value of our shareholders and stakeholders. Thank you very much.